The Magna Defender is awesome. Hello and welcome back to Reamlore, and today we are talking about the fan favorite Power Ranger, the Magna Defender, aka one of the coolest 6 Rangers to ever wear a helmet. A little backstory for you. After In Space, the Zordon era of Power Rangers officially came to an end. Countdown to Destruction being the big series finale after 6 years. Until the ratings came in and showed us people still loved Power Rangers, and thus the next season was greenlit. Enter Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, which was the first season to be a trade-off, switching out the casts and characters, which every season following this would do. It's also what Super Sentai have been doing since they started. Lost Galaxy is a pretty good season, although a bit strange at times. It's a space opera because In Space did so well, but the Sentai for Lost Galaxy called Ginga Man was jungle themed, so they had to get pretty creative here. Even with that, Lost Galaxy is a good season with fun characters, intriguing storylines, and great action. It's also one of the darkest seasons, with many serious themes, dramatic moments, deaths, and a Ridley Scott alien homage episode. Yeah, that episode's crazy. I could talk for hours about this season, but we're here to talk about the Magna Defender and his big storyline. A quick synopsis of the premise. The space colony known as Terra Venture blasts off from Earth to find a new world, but they are attacked by Scorpius, his daughter Trakina, and his ship of monsters. Fortunately, there are Power Rangers to defend the colony, heroes who pulled swords out of the stones. Thus far in the season, there has been an ongoing search for the ancient power called the Lights of Orion, which is apparently on Terra Venture. With all that said, my name is Rocko from Reamlore, and let's dive in. By the way, if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. We upload videos just like this one on our Reamlore channel. Make sure you're subscribed with that bell pressed to get notified when we upload. Subscribing is completely free and you can always change your mind. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so if you subscribe, it would mean a lot to us. Starting off, Leo, the Red Ranger, finally destroys Furio, a general who he had a big rivalry with. After the fight, Leo almost dives in a cave-in when he's saved by the Magna Defender. This guy, who is just the king of aura farming. Black armor, a sword that turns into a gun, and a cape that bellows in the wind. The Magna Defender is also voiced by Kerrigan Mahan, who played Goldar in Mighty Morphing. He does a great job giving him a deep Shakespearean voice. To deal with this, Scorpius recruits a new general named Trecheron, who is very much like a samurai. The reason for this is because Trecheron defeated Magna Defender 3,000 years ago, although Magna Defender was weak at the time. Trecheron is played by Derek Stephen Prince, who also played Elgar from Turbo, as well as Vmon, Impmon, and Dynasmon from Digimon. We get to see the Magna Defender in action, and he is so freaking cool. He wastes everybody with his sword, which is also a shotgun / machine gun. And during the fight with Trecheron, the villain loses his sword and the Magna Defender throws his sword away, saying, "Pfft, I don't need that. I'll beat you to death with my bare hands." Trecheron is great too. I forgot how cool he was, because he talks to the Magna Defender with respect, and when he gets his sword back, Trecheron tosses Magna Defender his sword to make the fight fair. And he's also a troll, saying, "I defeated you once and I killed you for 3,000 years and I can do it again." It ends in a standstill before we get the Magna Defender's backstory. He originally fought for good, to defend his planet from evil when Scorpius and his monsters attacked. He fought valiantly, but Scorpius was too strong. What's worse is they captured his son, Zika. After beating him down, Zika tried to save his dad, but instead Scorpius killed him. Yes, the main bad guy wasted a planet and killed a child right in front of his dad. Oh my gosh. This turned the Magna Defender from a hero to a warrior obsessed with revenge. So much so, it's consumed him. He doesn't care about anyone anymore. No joke, he blasts a monster standing right in front of a crowd of people. And when a monster freezes all of Terra Venture, the Magna Defender couldn't care less. Imagine you had told anyone of this watching Mighty Morphing when they were doing the fun, pudgy pig stuff. Oh yeah, in like 5 years, there's gonna be this super dramatic story where this hero was turned into an agent of vengeance after his son was killed. The Rangers try to reason with Magna Defender constantly, but he never listens, even though Leo is sure there is good in him like Darth Vader. Leo also thought the Magna Defender was his brother Mike because their fighting styles were so similar, holding on to hope that his brother survived his apparent death on Miranoi. This leads to a fight with the Red Ranger Leo, played by Danny Slavin. Magna Defender finally got the Lights of Orion, but Red Ranger wants to use them to unfreeze the colony. The fight ends in a no contest, and as we learn, those lights were a decoy to draw out and destroy the monster. Again, not because Magna Defender cared about saving the colony, he just wants to destroy Scorpius and his crew. We also met his Torazord. It's a giant robot bull, and Magna Defender grows giant to merge with it, which is always awesome, seeing a Ranger grow giant. It rarely happens in Power Rangers, but it's so cool cool every single time. Later, the Magna Defender almost destroys Terraventure by breaking an energy shield, but then he gets weak. It's also in that episode when the Lights of Orion appear for real. They get taken by a powerful monster named Destruxo, who works for Tretcheron. Destruxo powers himself up with the Lights of Orion and decimates everything. Destruxo loses the powers, however, due to the Magna Defender. The Lights, instead of going to him, who wants nothing but the power to get revenge, go to the Rangers, who want to do good. It gives them tons of power and spiffy new gear, which they use to destroy Destruxo. Tretcheron, meanwhile, thanks to Trakeena's sabotage, has been branded a traitor, so to prove his loyalty to Scorpius and restore his honor, Tretcheron recruits the Shark Brothers to help him destroy the Rangers. This also ties into a unique trait that most villains in Lost Galaxy have. Unlike most Power Ranger villains, they have a sense of honor and loyalty. They hardly ever use underhanded tactics, and the ones that do are the very few cowardly villains in the show. They're evil, sure, but they fight fair and with respect. Despite his name being literally Tretcheron, after his honor and character was trashed, he wanted to redeem himself even if it meant his death. That's how much he cares about his honor and how loyal he was to Scorpius. Likewise, the Shark Brothers risk everything to free Tretcheron and feel deeply angered when he's disrespected. Tretcheron stuck by his beliefs even in death, because he challenged Red Ranger to a one-on-one fight to the finish. It doesn't go his way, but instead of backing off, Tretcheron sticks it out even when it's clear he's lost. These are traits we haven't seen before in Power Ranger villains and haven't really seen since. It was refreshing and cool to have villains like this. It makes them stand the test of time when compared to other Power Ranger villains. I would bring some of this back for the new series. Actually, the fight is epic and super cinematic. You could put this in a movie and have it fit very well, and it ends in Tretcheron's destruction. Thanks to the Lights powering up their Megazord, they also easily dispatch the Shark Brothers. The storyline hits its final moments when Scorpius starts to drain energy away from Terraventure through their mountain dome. Yes, they have domes with different landscapes. Magna Defender, however, thinks that if he destroys the mountain dome, it will kill Scorpius, but it will also destroy all of Terraventure, so the Rangers go to stop him. Again, Magna Defender does not care who lives or dies, including himself, as long as he gets revenge. However, Torazord won't stand for this anymore, and he kicks the Magna Defender out. From there, a monster stabs the Magna Defender and fights the Rangers. After Leo gets Magna Defender away, he asks why Leo is helping him, and Leo responds with, "I don't need a reason, I'm a Power Ranger, this is what we do." In this moment, Magna Defender reveals the truth. 3,000 years ago, he fell into a crevice while fighting Tretcheron on Miranoi, and 3,000 years later, Mike fell into that same pit. By merging with Mike, he was able to escape. How he got to Terraventure is a mystery, but the point is they're one and the same. That's also why the Magna Defender has gotten weaker. The more he wants revenge and the more hatred he feels, the more Mike's spirit resists, because Mike is a good person. Now the only way to revive Mike is to destroy Magna Defender. Feeling defeated with his constant struggle and failure to avenge his son, Magna Defender asks Leo to kill him. Leo was never going to do that, however. Even though he wants to see his brother more than anything, he's not going to destroy someone who is good. The Rangers destroy the monster that stabbed Magna Defender, but the energy from the mountain is still too intense. Seeing the Rangers risk everything to fight for good makes Magna Defender remember he used to do the same. Magna Defender sees a vision of his son telling him he can save everyone. Magna Defender says that hero died a long time ago after he couldn't protect his son. Zika doesn't believe that, however, and says that hero is still in his heart. So with new motivation, Magna Defender protects the Rangers with a shield and goes to stop the mountain from exploding. And does so after saying goodbye to the Torazord. He does it by sacrificing his own spirit to stabilize it. The scene of the Magna Defender passing on is really heartbreaking, especially when we see him walking with his son. The episode does end on a somewhat optimistic note, however, as we learn Magna Defender released Mike, who reunites with Leo in a very heartwarming scene. The epilogue next episode is about two things: to pay respect to the Magna Defender, but also to do character stuff with Leo and Mike. Because at the start of the season, Mike pulled the red Quasar Saber out of the stone, not Leo. In the end, Leo realizes he's worthy of being a Power Ranger, and Mike gets the power of the Magna Defender from the man himself. Mike transforms into the Magna Defender in a very cool moment. And just like that, the Magna Defender story ends with him fighting for good once again. This story was amazing. This should get more recognition from the fan base as one of Power Rangers' best storylines. It's just so heartfelt and emotional. Magna Defender is such a compelling character, and the journey he went on was epic. I was hooked the entire time. And it's even more amazing when you read the backstage reports about this. The creators were having so much trouble with scripts. They were literally finishing them as they were shooting. So my hat goes off to the creative team. You made some great stuff in a very short amount of time. This is a bit of a tangent at the end, so bear with me. The only asterisk to the storyline is Bulk and Skull, or rather Bulk and Phenomenus. Yeah, Jason Narvi opted out of returning for another season to go to college. Yes, they brought back Bulk and Phenomenus from in space in the first episode, making you think they'll play a part in Lost Galaxy going forward. Maybe we'll see them from time to time like we did for In Space, but no. We see them once at the start, once at the halfway point, and once at the end. What was the point of bringing them on if you weren't going to use them? In fact, when they do return at the halfway point, they put Paul Schreier in the opening so you think maybe he'll be around from now on. But no! I am really curious. What was going on behind the scenes with that? There was scripting problems at the start, so maybe they didn't have time to write them parts, but that's speculation. The role they gave them was pretty good too, running a cafe. Much like how Ernie was running a juice bar in Mighty Morphing. Just do that. Make it a hangout spot for the Rangers so we can see Bulk and Phenomenus from time to time. Still, the Magna Defender story is iconic. If you haven't seen it yet, you absolutely should. That arc and really all of Lost Galaxy is incredible. A fan favorite season and for good reason. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later.